see, my grandfather used to say all the time, he'd say, son, when you get into a fight, you don't turn the guy loose, you make him break loose. You make him break loose, because if you turn him loose, he'll like, yeah, don't hold me back. Make him break loose. You know what my grandfather said? He said, the devil will never show up as the devil, because if he did, you wouldn't do the deal with him.
You wouldn't do the deal with him.
Your enemy will never show up as the enemy, because you wouldn't allow me in your circle.
Man, say that word.
Yeah, I didn't let me tell you something my grandma used to say.
What?
The tree that's leaning the furthest don't always fall first.
That was so country.
Yeah, it is.
So
but hey, when you drive in your car, you go think about it. Like,
yeah. Damn, that was some country shit. Man. The tree leaning the furthest don't always fall first.
Yeah. See, you thinking I'm already out the door.
Yeah. Hey, I thought it's possible, but I tell you what. That brown liquor, it's gonna keep leaning that tree. You know what I'm saying? But shouts out.
But you say, I only got one life.
Amen. And I respect that.
My grandfather told me, my grandfather died when I was 8. So he told me this, I had to be 6 or 7. He said, boy, the most humiliating thing you can do to someone is spit on them. He said, son, you spit on.
Totally agree.
He said, you spit on the ground. People pee and poop on the ground.
Yep.
If someone spits on you,
they're
worst. Telling you you're worse than the ground. They think that little of you.
Correct.
Chris Paul didn't want smoke because he mushed him in his face. Mm-hmm. He's supposed to unload on Rajon Rondo. Give him all the jaw work. He's not a dentist, but Rajon Rondo is not going to even need a mouthpiece for the next 3 or 4 days. Because I'm getting all that grill work. You spit on this. Boy, Skip, one of the best things I told you, my grandpa said, boy, be careful. He said, because the toe you step on today might be connected to the foot that's on the leg that leads to the butt you got to kiss tomorrow. My grandma used to say something. She'd say, boy, sometimes God will put you in place people don't think you belong. And anytime you're somewhere where people don't think you belong, you know what they say, Steve? What? He don't deserve that. Who are you to tell me what God has made a mistake on me? He don't deserve this. My grandfather said, boy, if you got to keep always being the bigger man, you're hanging around with too many small damn people. I'm not finna be the bigger man. I'm not gonna let you keep taking your shots at me and I turn the other cheek. That's in the Bible. I ain't in there. I'm gonna put something on you. When I was 12 years old, I told my mom, I said, Mom, I'm gonna have some money one day and I'm gonna buy you a Mercedes, and I did. When I came and I asked my grandmother, I said, Granny, what do you want? She always called me her baby. She never called me by my name. I said, you want me to buy you a car and teach you how to drive? She said, no, son, I don't want that. I said, Granny, do you want jewelry? She said, no, son, I don't want that. She said, son, I want a decent house. And I'm thinking, I said, well, my grandmother wants 7,000 to 8,000 square feet. But then I know my grandmother, knowing her like I know her, after pausing for 5 or 6 minutes, I said, Granny, what is a decent home? And I remember it like yesterday, and it was 30 plus years ago. She said, son, I want a decent home. And her words verbatim is, she said, son, I want to go to bed one night. And she said, I want God to let it rain as hard as he possibly can. And I want him to let it rain all night long. And she said, I want to wake up and not be wet.